most times legal and moral matters can be at loggerheads, such that a matter can be morally right but legally wrong. The Federal High Court in Abuja has dismissed a suit by the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, seeking to invalidate some provisions of the Nigerian Police Force regulations and reinstate a dismissed female police officer over pregnancy. In his judgment, Justice Inyang Eko ruled that there is nothing discriminatory or unlawful about the provisions in regulations 126 and 127. Hence, it is wrong for an unmarried female police officer to flaunt the regulations by getting pregnant in service. Julie, can you break this down?
Yeah, the matter had dragged on for so long, the Ekiti state government even got involved, because somehow they made it look like this was an attempt to abridge our rights. But when you are joining the police or joining the army, you know what the law says. The regulations are there for you to see. You don't join the police blindfolded. You don't join the police without the knowledge of
some of those rights.
Yes. If it sits well with you, you go ahead, you join.
Read.
This issue shouldn't be we shouldn't get emotional about these issues or to bring all kinds of funny arguments. Yes, those provisions had been there from the colonial era. You could say, okay, the colonial masters passed these things on to us. But there is a reason. They don't want, because these are security people, you have to be careful who they mingle with and all that. If women are allowed to simply get married out of wedlock, criminals, police women, criminals could get some of them pregnant and in the process jeopardize even security. So I think that in the end, whether it is traditional marriage that you opt for, you know that traditional marriage, the demands are not like court marriage or the rest of them. Whether it is traditional marriage that you opt for, you must do it the right way. As a policewoman, you must marry legally. You can't go and bring what is it called? The pregnancy from somewhere and expect that they will not complain. If they allowed a laissez-faire attitude to getting pregnant to fester in the armed forces, we'll be in trouble. All these parades will just be people with protruding belly. Because it will not be a crime. People will just get pregnant anyhow. So the law is there. She knew what the law was before she joined. So
as well, this reminds me of one. What's the name of this naval officer that is into comedy?
Yeah.
And people were complaining that he was locked and everything. And I asked my lawyer friend Libros Oshoma that look, he now told me about the Armed Forces Act. That look, for him to have joined the Nigerian Navy, he had surrendered some of his liberties, some of his rights, that it can't be like Mr. Macaroni again.
Yes, of course. It's just like it is a constitution, it's a rule. The Nigeria Police Regulation 1968 has that as section 127. I can even read it. For pregnancy of unmarried women police. An unmarried police officer who becomes pregnant shall be discharged. Is written there.
Expressly stated.
That is it, from the force. And she shall not be re-enlisted except with the approval of the IGP. So, but it is expressly written there, shall be discharged from the force. And there's a reason for it. Because if there was no reason for somebody who is unmarried to get, don't forget, Ayo, there are some female police officers who are used for them to, get a suspect or criminals. So if, for instance, they get pregnant and eventually this happens, not on duty but outside, then it becomes a problem. So what the judge has simply done is to follow the rule books. I heard them saying something about the Nigerian constitution, that it's a constitution. But I read that constitution, I read it left, right, and center. But I've not seen anything that expressly says that anything that relates to this. Because if the Nigerian army, the forces that we have their own rule books, and they say, don't do this, just like the Navy guide. Don't go ahead and begin to show yourself on social media. Don't do things that are wrong. You are not supposed to. If you know that you are not going to be in the Navy, don't go. If you know that you don't want to be in the force, if you want to be a comedian,
it's very lucrative now.
Yes, of course.
Make your skits and
do your content and then make money.
Discharge yourself.
You know, don't expose yourself. You know, that was there was a time even the Nigerian army was saying that when you are on the field, the battlefield, do not even show videos. They have a reason for it, you know. So
definitely.
This one should serve as a deterrent to other unmarried women police officers, so that they will know that if they have not seen this one, it is there in their books, so they should understand.